So between my shoulder and my elbow, there's something trapped. Needs unpinging.
That's not pleasant.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Wind. I don't even know if it's going to get picked up on the mics. It wasn't me. That one wasn't me.
I heard it in my earphones. I eared it in my earphones. So I think maybe the mic might have picked that up. Eared it in my earphones.
It's a quiet spell between next door not vacuuming their car.
Yes.
And the wind's died down at the start.
Yeah, do it.
This is Rightly Used with Adam and Karen.
Hello, I'm Adam.
I'm Karen.
This is episode 26 of Lightly Used. Thank you very, very much for listening.
Yes, indeed.
And we've got to say hello to somebody as well.
Yeah, actually, I was literally just about to say, can I borrow your pen to write this down before I forget? But James Pickworth.
Thank you.
We officially love you. I know Tom and Rob have spewed beautiful words about you because you are the most incredible social media supporter. But you've adopted us into your listening sphere and we are hugely grateful. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for being amused by us, which is even better. And for sharing everything everywhere. You are a wonderful human being and your dog is so cute and she looks so lovely in her little muddy trough.
So yeah, we're at that stage of we've got so few listeners, we can thank them individually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you're listening to this in a year's time and we're massive, that'll teach you not to be an early adopter. Thank you, James. It really does mean a lot to us. Thank
Named
you very,
and
very
shamed
much.
In the most loving manner possible.
Were you going to use my pen for anything, or
I was
take it off as I was
write
gesticulating?
You were gesticulating and saying, "Oh, listener," and I was about to say, "Can I have your pen to write down James's name so I don't forget to talk about him?" But you remembered
just as you were about to write it down.
Yeah, just as I was about to write it down.
Excellent timing. Oh, you know the tiny chip that you noticed in the Tatmobile windscreen when we were on the way to Abergavenny?
The one that you were really disappointed that I found.
Yeah, it's new. Can't have nice things. So I booked an appointment between 8 and 1 to have that fixed. I got a confirmation text that said that I'd be sent a link on the day to track the tech's arrival. So the text that morning at 8 o'clock. Tech's going to arrive between 9 and 4:30.
What?
Well, I booked it between 8 and 1. So I thought, I'll use the link to see if I can narrow down the time, see if I can see whereabouts he is, for a rough idea of how far away he is.
Like you can track an Amazon driver when it's like 8 stops away or whatever.
So you asked for my number plate and postcode. Pop that in. Next page, just a spinning circle, not showing. The rest of the page had loaded, just the actual information I needed. Yeah, show me. I can scroll up and down. I can see the title of the window company, scroll down to see the contact information, site map, and all these other links, but the thing I need to find about this appointment, nothing's happening on the screen there at all.
Helpful.
I emailed a link to myself. I'll try it on the PC. No. It only lets me amend or cancel the appointment.
Oh, lovely.
Just show me where the dude is.
God, so you've gone from having to take half a day off work to potentially having to take an entire day off of work.
Yeah. He showed up about 11, half 11-ish. Nice bloke, but yeah, it was just the booking system their company uses, absolute tosh.
Do you want to name and shame said company?
I can't remember.
Oh.
There's only like 3 car windscreen companies in the country anyway.
Fair enough. One of those bastards.
Yeah. I don't think they have a catchy jingle if that narrows it down.
No.
It's not that one.
You buy one, you get one free. No, that was
double glazing.
Yeah. Ron seal is what you put on your fences.
I never understood. How are you selling windows off the back of these adverts?
Yeah, they were very irritating.
Right, well, any other company but them. Yeah, we can't even remember the company, just the horrible adverts.
Yeah. It'll come to me in a flash later on and I'll be like, ah! And I'll totally put you off your swing of whatever it is you're doing at that moment in time.
They changed that Tavern Crier guy for someone from Corrie, didn't they?
Did they?
The glassiest guy that had the corner shop.
I'd never watched Coronation Street.
I watched a couple of episodes run my nans a couple of times. Reg? I don't know.
Oh, well.
It's not important.
So
bit of a tonal shift from spokesperson.
Yeah. So the crack is fixed?
it's still a little bit visible. It's there, but it's not cracked, at least.
Yeah, we went out in the van yesterday and I was like, oh, I thought you got that chip fixed. And you were like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It does say in the small print it might still be visible. And I was like, oh, I thought they just pumped resin in it and then it vanishes, but apparently not. Girl brain.
Yeah, to sign away there. Yeah, should have just left it.
Yeah, never mind.
So I start shredding my windscreen wipers, then I'll do something about it.
Yeah. So we've just watched Rarg.
We did.
Which I randomly mentioned at the start of the last episode. Dad texted me the YouTube link this morning whilst he was listening to the episode. But you actually found a link before Dad did, purely because you knew what we'd been talking about and he didn't. And you put the link to the movie on YouTube in the blog for episode 25.
I do have to give some thanks here. I'm not on Reddit. I don't think we are as a show.
We're not.
I think Channel 84,
Channel 84
is.
are.
Or certainly the Variety show.
Yeah.
But thank you, Redditors. I think that's how you're known, for your post 9 years ago. Yeah, when I was writing the blog for the last episode, I was able to find the film Rarg. I think you misremembered it as RAAG.
Yeah, but it's RARG.
I searched for animated film, people discover they exist in a dream. First actual result, Reddit.
Excellent.
Cheers, thank you.
Excellent. Oh, I've never really gotten into the depths of Reddit.
I guess it depends where you go, and there's some of it is hangovers from the old internet, like, oh, there we go. Well, I'm just going to describe a film, and out of the goodness of my own heart, I'll just reply and tell you, here's the film, here's a link to it on IMDb, and here's the YouTube link.
Right.
And I think there's a forum, what is this thing? You can just take a picture of something you don't know what it is, and people will have a go at answering it. Sometimes, a lot of the time, they'll get it right, because there's lots of knowledgeable people out there.
There are. That's really cool.
So, yeah, those old internet things.
Yeah.
But then I guess if you go with the politics side of things.
Yeah, I think I would have to try and avoid, like, the conspiracy political rabbit holes. But I'm also really quite interested in things like that. Not because I believe them, but because I'm just so shocked at some of the things people actually convince themselves are real. But, if there's no solid evidence to the contrary, it's just my version of the world against theirs.
Yeah, we saw that video last night on YouTube, didn't we?
Yeah.
I know. I'm sidetracking you from Rarg. I was just thanking Reddit for being a hangover from the old internet, the good days.
So I really enjoyed rewatching it. I've not seen it for a really long time. Dad does actually still have a copy on DVD.
It worked, Admiral Chester's.
Yeah, and I was like, because we used to do family film nights, I think probably like once a month or something, where we'd all sit down together and watch a DVD. And it's one of my fondest sort of like family movie night memories, is all sitting down to watch this very short animated film. I think it's like 23 minutes, something like that.
It's really well made as well.
It's brilliant. The animation style is simplistic but beautiful, kind of almost a little bit reminiscent of Play School, with like the way the buildings are coloured in, sort of like a watery colour wash. And I don't know, there's something in my brain that's going, oh, that's a bit Play Schooly, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
So some of the character styles remind me of Popeye, like Wimpy and the Goons and stuff like that, with the round faces and also
big round
nose.
Yeah, they just it's a lovely film, and I just the opening credits, and I was just like, I was transported back to being like however old I was when Dad picked it up, and it was really nice, and I remembered all the music, and then cynical 44-year-old Karen brain kicked in at some point. I think it was very near the beginning with the bluebirds and the pink birds. And I was like, blue for boys, pink for girls. And then I thought, hang on a second. That's, one of those things that is a delicate subject these days. And then there were a few other things. And then the whole kidnapping the guy that they're inside the head of in his dream. Yeah, spoilers.
It's a film from the 80s.
Since 1989. If you've not seen it, I'm not doing it justice. But it's a brilliant film. But there are some very dark undertones to it in terms of...
Well, it's an interpretation.
Yeah, it's about existence and autonomy, I guess, and where we find ourselves and what we're prepared to do to survive.
it might not have happened. He might have just dreamt it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It could that the entire thing was a dream, and maybe Edwin is in someone else's dream.
But the dark ending, he's now in a coma.
Yes,
and
forever
the only
asleep.
people that can wake him up that he dreamt into existence are now flamingos.
Spoiler.
we did warn early.
But, it's such a lovely little film.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
I forgot to pay attention at the very, very end because we thought, well, let's get down and record. I forgot, did Richard Wilson do the voice of the mayor?
The professor.
The professor, sorry. There's only like 2 speaking parts in it. But I forgot to look at the end. I don't think it was.
There wasn't any... I mean, the video cut off before any end credits.
Oh, that might have just been me.
No, it wasn't, because it came up on the channel tile, didn't it? So yeah, but it was lovely to watch it again. Thank you for entertaining that with me.
If you'd like to enjoy yourself, have a look at episode 25's blog post
yes.
at likelyused.co.uk. On the show today, bit of a truncated episode because I've not really slept well all week. Karen's not really slept well. I was going to go one up for you. I was going to say in the last month.
Karen's not slept well since she turned 40. Adam's not slept well for probably the last 3 years.
So yeah, we might just skip over the game because we've got nothing prepared for that. And I've got a book, but I've not had time to properly read through it. And I think there's a few more things I should be pointing out in it. So full-length episode will return with 27.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find plenty of things to talk about. In between, we'll fluff it out with a bit of chitter-chatter.
This is not a guarantee.
Well, I mean, I've got a couple of other things that I can talk about if you...
Oh no, the episode 27 will be a full-length episode. I don't know what's happening between now and the next 2 weeks.
Hopefully Karen starts to feel a bit better.
Likewise.
And Adam gets more sleep.
My shoulder.
Yeah.
Doesn't keep me awake.
I do have to say, just on a slight tangent, thank you to Jackson and to my mum. As all of you short-suffering listeners are aware, if you listen to the last episode, I've been having a bit of a rough time recently, and I was struggling to get housework done and things like that. So Jackson came over one evening and he did my dishes, he did my bins, he cleaned the whole kitchen, he hoovered the flat, he brought me food shopping, gave me a massive cooch. It was so lovely, and it really helped with my mental state to not be surrounded by the chores that I hadn't got done and I'd started to mentally tell myself off for, which is a really bad practice and I shouldn't do it. But thank you, Jackson, for just being a wonderful human being and for looking after me. And thank you to my equally long-suffering mum for giving up her peaceful retirement and coming to look after me in my flat for 4 days. I don't share my space very often, and I don't necessarily share it very well, and I'm not always the most entertaining host, and I'm certainly not at the moment, but Mum came down and she did my laundry and we cooked dinner together, and we had a very small walk on the beach, which was wonderful for both of us because I'd not really been outside properly for a while, certainly not on the beach, and Mum loves the beach. It's her grounding space, so we just walked along the sand for a couple of 100 metres and then went back to the car, but it was really nice. But I love you both so much, and I'm trying really hard not to be emotional about this because I could easily cry. Adam's reaching out. Adam's reaching out his hand across the table. He's so sweet. But I love you both. You're wonderful, and Adam also has been pulling more than his weight and his fair share over the last few weeks. I've had more baths than hot dinners, which is wonderful because it makes my bones and my muscles so much happier. He's given me money for a second massage, which I haven't booked yet, but I will do because the first one did give me a couple of days of relief. So yeah, thank you to the wonderful people in my life, without being gushy. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate Jackson, and I appreciate Mum, and Lexi for all the phone calls as well.
And thank you both for looking after Karen as well. For the next instalment of Lightly Used News, Johnny Turnip and his knights continue their quest to seek King Arthur and Excalibur.
Yay.
Abergavenny man claims he has found the legendary sword Excalibur by Tim Butters from the Abergavenny Chronicle on Monday the 5th of August 2024.
You found it by Tim Butters? Tim Butters had it all along.
Much like the Holy Grail, the legendary sword Excalibur has been sought after for centuries by philosophers, poets, politicians, historians, the hapless and the lost. However, an Abergavenny man claims he now wields what legions of adventurers and explorers have all sought in vain, the Sword of Power. It's a bit of a trip to think my hands have fondled the same piece of steel as King Arthur, but you can't cheat destiny, explained semi-professional paranormal investigator Johnny Turnip. In hindsight, I can now see that when I lost myself to a twilight world of substance abuse and bizarre sleeping patterns in my 20s, I was simply in denial of my own greatness. I always knew in my bones that fate had earmarked me for something historical and earth-shattering, but I had no idea it would stand by King Arthur's side and rule the world. For years, I tried to run from who I was and what I was supposed to be. I got good at it as well. Before becoming a paranormal investigator, I was a semi-professional long-distance runner. But the running stops here. I've finally embraced who and what I am. Since Arthur's demise, the extraterrestrials have secretly governed this planet with a dark intent. Once I wake the Great Bear by driving Excalibur into the great rock where he sleeps, it'll be time for E.T. to go home and stay there. Turnip told the Chronicle that after having a vision that revealed Excalibur was rusting away at the bottom of a reservoir on Tredegar, he and the boys jumped in Big Tony's battle bus and headed up top to find the once and future king's fabled weapon. The only trouble was, when we got there, we had no idea how to retrieve Excalibur from the depths, explained Turnip. None of us had any diving gear, and even if we did, no one was willing to take the plunge. We'd all grown up with a bit of a phobia of the water thanks to films like Jaws. Turnip added, in my heart, had high hopes that Lady's hand would reach out of the reservoir holding the sword aloft like it did in that dodgy 80s film Excalibur. You know, the one with the fruity-looking guy playing Merlin, the village idiot-looking fella playing young Arthur. Anyhow, after sitting on the banks for hours and sharing some flagons of cider, nothing much happened, and you could see Big Tony was getting more and more twitchy with each passing second. He eventually stood up abruptly and said, "So this for a game of soldiers? I've wasted enough time on this wild goose chase. I'm off." "Hang on a sec, Tony," I said. "You're one of my sworn knights. You took an oath. You can't leave without being dismissed." He just looked me up and down like I was some sort of half-wit and said, "Knight? Oath? Excalibur? Listen to yourself, JT. You've lost the plot. I only came along for the crack and the free beer. Now all this Dungeons and Dragons nonsense is getting embarrassing now. I know you, Paul, and the others like to live in some weird, drug-addled fantasy realm, but it's a luxury I can't afford. When they're all on UC, I'm due on site tomorrow. I'll lose my job." "Tony!" I cried when he struck back the van. "You'll have riches beyond labour when I'm crowned the second king in command. This is the alien mind control talking, not you. Stay a while and share this bottle of gin with me. You'll see things differently," I implored. It was no good. Tone was adamant. And as I watched him head back to the relative normality of the metaphorical rocking chair that is old Mother Aber, I saw Fast Eddie jump in front of his Bedford rascal and holler, "Take me back to Aber with you to pick up some supplies, Tone. I've got an idea how we can retrieve Excalibur." I looked at Fast Eddie curiously and wondered what little pygmy had up his sleeve. But with Tone gone, we needed some wheels, and although it would be a bit of a squeeze, Fast Eddie's Mini was capable of transporting us all. Turnip added, "As Big Tony wheeled spin off, without so much as give me a friendly two-fingered salute. I felt a genuine sense of betrayal. Our big oaf would live to regret his indiscipline when ushered in the New World Order." As I gazed round the remaining knights of my war party, I saw Puerto Rico Paul was sleeping off the effects of the cider, and JFK Jones was limping around annoyingly in his broken ankle boot and furiously texting someone on his phone. When the devious little tart saw me monitoring like a hawk, he had the good grace to look embarrassed. I continued to stare at him and said cryptically, "Only those you trust can betray you." I could tell by his body language and dumb look in his face he knew what I was getting at. He was up to something fishy, and before this quest was over, I'd find out. Turnip explained that when Fast Eddie returned, he shared a plan to retrieve Excalibur that might just prove feasible. "Eddie's called Fast for a reason," explained Turnip. "He's quick on his feet and a fast thinker. He brought with him a two-man inflatable kayak and one of those magnetic fishing kits. The plan was that me and him would paddle out to the middle of the reservoir and drop the huge magnet on the fishing line overboard, and hopefully, sooner or later, we'd find Excalibur. It was a long shot, but it was all we had." Turnip revealed that after being on the water for 3 hours and catching nothing but beer cans, a shopping trolley, an old scooter and an air gun, they were just about to call it a day when a cloud passed in front of the sun and an eerie silence fell. Turnip explained. It's difficult to put into words, but you could tell from the change in atmosphere something big was about to happen. We pulled up the magnet one last time, and on the end of the line was a huge sword. I'd like to say, the likes of which you'd never seen, but it was covered in rust and in a bit of a way. It looked like one of those samurai swords that were big in the 1990s, but one that had been left to rot for a couple of decades. However, if I didn't already know in my heart of hearts it was Excalibur, what happened next confirmed it. To be continued.
No! I'm getting so excited.
As much as I implore you not to read ahead, you can if you want, because all these stories and more are compiled in The Trials and Tribulations of Johnny Turnip by Tim Butters, available on Amazon, and you can find the link from our blog page, lightlyused.co.uk.
It's what I hope is everybody's favourite part of the show. It's jingle time. Are you ready?
Yay.
He's so enthusiastic. I love it.
My Tat's going to get guessed immediately again.
Well, pick better Tat.
I'm running out of stuff on my
You have to
shelves.
start hiding things more regularly.
And you come around my house, you've seen everything I've got.
I know.
And when we go shopping, you see what I buy in the charity shops.
What's really funny is you've not been round to mine for a while.
No,
And
we
I
record round
I
here.
may have secretly extended my Tat collection, so there are items that you won't know immediately what they are because you haven't seen them before.
I need that half a point advantage or something. Is anyone at home keeping score? That was one of our intentions when we started this.
Yeah, I don't know.
That fell by the wayside
James,
immediately.
fancy a task?
No, don't leave them alone.
No, James.
We're not setting homework.
No, we don't do that. We're not teachers. We're not cruel. Anyway.
If we can't be asked to do it ourselves, we should definitely expect someone else to do it on our behalf. When it's related to our own.
Yeah, I know. Like you said last time, no one can care more about this podcast than you, and if you don't care, then that's fine.
Wait, you're allowed to care more than me, but collectively, as the hosts, how much we collectively care, that's the limit.
It's very disproportionate, I think, about how much we care as well. Adam's the technical perfection carer, and I am the crazy, I just want to have a laugh and record a podcast side of caring.
You're the seagull. You just fly in, make a lot of noise, squawk around, shit on it, fly off, and go, there we go, I'm all done.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm sat with this.
I am the beach chicken of Lightly Used. Shout out to Killer Rabbit Pod. We miss you. Sam, if you're listening, I really miss you all.
Come back, you guys.
Yeah, we miss your northern voices.
You can't keep going off into the wilderness like this and leaving us.
Oh, they got busy lives. Okay, anyway.
Come out of the warren.
Back onto topic. It's time for Tat in the Box, 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 Tat in the Box.
It may or may not be two extra claps at the end. We're not quite sure.
No, I
We'll have to look
the
at blankety blank some point.
Shh, no one's allowed to know that I've pilfered it from someone
They'll
else.
never find out.
No, it's totally unique IP, USP. No one's ever done it before.
So it's my item first.
My hands are open, face up, ready and willing to grab whatever it is you want to put between them.
Which way round? I'll put it that way round between your hands.
This better not be a butt plug because that sounded really awkward to get hold of.
There would have probably been some sort of noise.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Right. Dans le table. Is it on the table?
Ouai.
Ouai. Ouar.
Ouai, monsieur.
Or I'm gonna move my hands
Yep.
closer together.
Yep.
I can't feel anything yet. Oh, it's
Just leaving it there.
it's not very. I can't feel it yet. Oh, there it is. Oh.
Told you.
Adam, I can't even click the clicker.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't because it's been on 89 for as long as I've known it.
It doesn't matter.
It does.
'Cause I remembered the number now.
It's a Dorman clicker
Yeah.
with a key ring.
No, I
ring
think
on
that's
it.
just where your finger goes through the loop.
Right. Oh.
There you go.
Like that.
Yeah.
I'm not clicking it.
You can.
No, I don't want to do it. Adam. I haven't even opened my eyes yet, everyone. And
But you know exactly what it was.
I know exactly
before
what
it's even the right way around in your hand.
I felt it. I felt him press that button, and it didn't react the way I was expecting it to. I was hoping there'd be more of a noise.
We need to be monetized to be demonetized, so yeah, carry on. We're as filthy as we like.
Guess the number.
104.
Close. Higher.
106.
Higher.
112.
Lower.
3.
107. It's a Dorman's clicker.
Yeah,
One of those things that bouncers have on
4.
their fingers. Ooh, Lynx. Lynx Click. The sexy clicker for sexy men that women want to smell.
That came out around about 2006. I'm not sure if Lynx Click is still a smell that's around now. But we may have one American listener. For you, it's Axe body spray. Mostly remember Lynx Effect as being an advertising campaign around the 80s. Around about the 90s and noughties, the Lads Mag era. And the most memorable being, well, for me, the Billions campaign. Hordes of attractive ladies in bikinis just running through the jungle, swimming out of the sea for one guy who's double fisting cans of spray on a deserted beach. What have you done?
I found the reset and I was trying to get it to 89 and I clicked it about 7 times and it went to 147, so I think it's a dud.
We used up its clickiness.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a cool little thing though, I like it.
But yeah, this one from Lynx Click deodorant from around about 2006. There were 2 campaigns for it.
All right.
I only really remember one. Ben Affleck, he was going around LA doing his daily things, getting food, running errands, popping out of shops before going back to his hotel. And each time a lady sort of checked him out or, hello, that's Ben Affleck. And I think one time he counted a guy checking him out too.
Nice. Nice to make it fair.
He gets an hotel lift. There's a cleaner already in there. He notices Ben. So, I'm going to check out how many clicks I've got. 103. And the cleaner leans over. Yeah, he's over 2,000. And there was another adverts for Lynx Click in 2007. No recollection of these, but it was a 6 advert campaign with Harmar Superstar.
No idea.
Oh, he's a musician. He's persona of the character of Harmar Superstar is a little bit of a sleazy but larger than life party.
Right, okay.
But yeah, upbeat party songs, kind of cool. But I missed them completely. But I found a video uploaded by a model in one of the adverts. So
Okay.
I'm guessing she must have shown like these are the adverts I've been in. But the link will be on the show blog.
Yes.
Trying to remember the word blog. There was a promotion to win one of these clickers. Just a standard clicker for counting attendance, things like that. It's just got Lynx Click branding etched in one side.
Ah, yes.
They go for about $5 on eBay. Seems to be about £1 or $2 more than eBay's asking for a brand spanking new
Standard
regular
clicker.
Yeah, the Lynx Click branding doesn't add anything to it. Oh, it's gone back to 0.
Yeah, I reset it and then tried to get it to 89 and it went to 147. That's some good action you've got going there, love.
Oh, that jumped.
Oh, did it throw a 100 in there?
I was pressing too fast to know when it jumped, so it might have... 0. There we go.
Yeah, lovely. That'll never read 89 ever again.
Never mind.
There we are. Lovely bit of tap, darling.
Right, my turn to guess.
It is. Shut your eyes. It is on the table, roughly central to you, but not your hands, because you've got one hand wider away from your side than the other.
Have I? Oh, there we go. Oh, it feels like a fancy coaster. It's got some sort of embossing on it. It's quite glossy. Rubberized effect with my nails. A little bit waxy. It feels like 2 things
It's five.
Together?
It's 5 things sellotaped together.
Oh, they're going to be very,
I have
very...
not removed the sellotape because I wanted to do that together.
I'm guessing they're going to be coasters then.
Correct. Would you like to try and psychically guess anything else about them?
Right, is this the back?
That is correct. Yes, the rubber.
Oh, that's what
O
right.
is the non-slip bit on the back.
That's not a logo or something. I'm trying to feel like. Yeah. Right. No, I don't think I'm going to feel anything distinctive on the front other than just the shape of a grip for putting caps in. Is that right?
No, not really. Do you want to open your eyes?
Yeah. Oh, vinyl. Oh, yeah, it would have been really hard. Yeah, I thought that was just textured. They're miniature vinyl. Was I there when you got...
No, you were not, because I picked them up when I was with Mum.
Have I been somewhere you've seen some fancy coasters?
Quite possibly.
They might not have actually been actual vinyls. It might have just had a motif or something on them.
Yes. So these are a set of... They're supposed to be a set of 6, but there's one missing, so I got them. There's 5. They are miniature 45...
Like reproduction
vinyl records. They've got the sort of like branding label that you would normally see on the centre of a record. Do you want to pull them apart and have a look at them?
Yeah, was that about 5-inch across?
Well, so a man's 5-inch. A woman might say 4.5.
Depends where you're measuring from.
These were £1 for the set.
You're measuring right to the antler.
From the root. From the root.
You have to listen to these. Who Takes the Socks Off Christmas special episodes. That's a hell of a callback.
Measure from the back of the crack.
I told a good joke once 6 months ago. No, a year ago when we recorded that in here.
So yeah, there's a set of 5 for £1. They're a generic brand. They're not anything special, I don't think.
I think that's meant to look like maybe a Warner Brothers logo on the front.
Yeah, maybe. I think they've all got different record labels on them in inverted
just
commas.
because I saw the colours of one of them looked a little bit like Island Records, but let's have a look.
The front one says Rest On Me, I think is the track name.
Spectrum Records.
Spectrum Records. Tea Time is the track name on that one.
That's the one I thought was Island, just saw the colours.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be EMI.
Oh yeah, quite possibly.
CRW, what's that? Cover and Protect. Who's that by? The Nostalgics. Are they all by the Nostalgics?
They are by the Nostalgics.
Okay.
Yes. These are selling for a complete set of 6 on eBay, anywhere from £6. These are from the Salvation Army. And when I first saw them, they weren't in the general tat section and they weren't in the tech section. They were kind of in a nondescript area of stuff. And I initially thought, maybe they're like those little records that you used to get for the Fisher Price vinyl players. But obviously those records used to be printed quite thick plastic and they were coloured. Like pink and yellow. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic stand then. Pink and yellow and things. So I walked around. I hobbled around and then found a sofa to sit on whilst Mum walked around looking at these. And I was like, well, I'm going to get them anyway because I wasn't sure. But they do look like proper little records. Yeah. And they're fun little things.
They do have a...
Yeah, so they do have the needle grooves on them.
It looks too rough to actually play anything. I think it's just symbolic.
Yes, yeah, I'm pretty sure if there's any music on there, it's probably just demonic chants or something. But I did wonder whether they might be a toyetic type thing, but they're not. They are coasters, and the lady at the till told me so, and I was like, oh, I feel like a twat now. Because I was saying to her, they remind me of those little records you used to get for Fisher Price record players. She's like, yeah, but they're coasters. And I was like, are they? He's just dropped one. And she's like, yeah, look, they've got rubber base. And I was like, oh, yeah, so they have. And I was kind of disappointed. But at the same time, they're a nice flat coaster. And I like a coaster. Whilst I don't necessarily use them at home, I do have a couple of sets. But the thicker a coaster is, the less stable your mug is sat atop it, I believe. So these are nice and flush. They're only probably about 1 millimetre, maybe maximum 2 millimetres thick, and rubber base. They'd keep a nice stable mug on there, and you could fit the HP mug would not fit on that. it would fit over it.
Yeah, you might need 3 together.
Yeah, but a standard size mug, espresso mug, they would all fit on there.
And they look really, really good.
They are cool, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm not sure which is the missing one of the 6. But that is as far as my research went because I've been busy dying on my sofa.
And you will find photos of all of our tat on the blog.
Yes, you will.
likelyused.co.uk. And if you've had any of these, or any of the tat we've ever featured, feel free to drop us a line. pod@likelyused.co.uk.
Yeah, that would be really nice, actually.
It'd be good to hear from anyone at all.
So, we're pretty much at the end of our mini recording session.
Yeah, sorry it's been a little bit of a shorter episode this time.
That's okay, people won't mind that. It's easier for a commute, probably. Yeah, and let's face it, an hour of listening to me is enough to send anyone to therapy.
Hopefully normal service will resume in 2 weeks' time.
I'm sure it will. So, it was your birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
No, it was your birthday on Friday. Today's
Oh,
Sunday.
yeah, well, sorry, it's usually Saturday we record
Wow,
this. Yeah.
I've totally
A day
lost
late.
the day. It was your birthday on Friday. You're not a general celebrator of birthdays, which makes life difficult for me because I like to celebrate the people that I like being here. And so does my mum. So, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you very much. I've been given an card with a VW bus on the front. Oh, thank you very, very much.
That's from Mum.
Let me pop that up there.
And if you would please close your eyes and hold your hands out. Yeah, Mum said she got you the card with the van on because you've been fixing your one up and she thought it was
way better
related.
than the Tatmobile.
Okay, hold your hands out.
Oh, okay.
So this is a crap present from me because your actual present is still in America.
Oh.
So you can open your eyes. You don't have to guess what it is.
I'm going to guess it's a T-shirt.
Correct.
Oh, hello. Salt Rock with a saucy
very,
mermaid.
very saucy mermaid.
Oh!
Front and back. I thought you might like her.
Thank you very, very much.
So yeah, that's also from Salvation Army. But yeah, saucy mermaid.
Photos will be on the blog. Actually, I'll put this on. You can
You're going to model it?
Yeah.
Nice.
You can take a photo of me wearing that in a bit. Oh, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
I really hope it fits. That's a cool T-shirt.
When your actual present turns up, I will give it to you. But it's still being made, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good old America.
Whatever. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Getting something
Don't get
made for me.
excited. This is just a thing. But anyway, so yeah, belated happy birthday. That's all I'll say about that. Naked and Afraid.
The show, or me when I'm changing to put this T-shirt on?
Oh, I don't know. The show.
Okay, yeah.
So I think I briefly mentioned this to you yesterday. It might actually have been last night when we were falling asleep.
That's the one where the clues in the name. 2 people who've applied to the show to say they can survive on a jungle island for, is it 2 weeks or so? With their wits.
It varies. The season that I'm watching at the moment is Last One Standing, season 3.
Oh, is it quite a few people competing against each other?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
right.
I think they started off with 6 women and 6 men. And you are basically naked. You have nothing other than the
mic pack.
You've got obviously you've got your cameras, and there's safety people around because you're in the outback in Australia and whatnot. But you're naked. You've got a knife. You've got a ferro rod or whatever it's called to make a fire, and a water bowl, a water pot,
pail or something.
Like the metal ones that you can chuck on a fire.
Yeah, a Dixie tin sort of.
Yeah, that sort of thing. That holds a couple of litres of water, and that's about it. And everything else you have to scavenge for, hunt for, forage for. You have to build your own shelter if you want a shelter. And this season, Last One Standing is brilliant. It's a lot of the very regular faces that people have gotten to enjoy that have done the previous seasons of Naked and Afraid that are just normal episodes without them having to compete against other camps. So it's just two people off in a jungle or in the African savannah, or for this one, it's the Australian outback.
Like the Needy Survival All-Stars.
Yes.
You've known
yeah,
them.
exactly. So they've all come through sort of like, I think there's been like 18 seasons of Naked and Afraid.
Oh, plenty of contestants to choose from.
Loads. And there's some amazing characters. There are some real nutcase survivalists out there.
Have to be.
But anyway, there's one camp at the moment that is, this won't mean anything to you, but anyone that watches Naked and Afraid, Last One Standing, I apologise. This is season 3, episode 3, potential spoilers.
Switch your ears off.
Fast forward for a little bit if you want to miss this. There is one camp of 3 people at the moment, Matt, Max and Laura. They are like super duper all-star Naked and Afraid survivalists. They're like professional survivalists. They train, they hunt for their food, they teach people all these skills. Max is back at camp. Laura and Matt go out hunting for wild boar, for pigs, or goat, because they're an invasive species and they can kill those and eat those and no one's going to care. So off they go with their bow and arrows and their kangaroo hide strapped around their feet, and like a tote bag made of hessian, which doesn't cover much. Whoever used to have to do the blur for Naked and Afraid before AI blur ability turned up, if they've not had some sort of weird kink or mental breakdown related to how much gooch and foof they've seen, I don't understand. But I'm sure it's all done by AI now, which is probably much better for people's mental health.
Not sexual anymore.
Yeah. It's not
sexy.
The TV program is not sexy. It is the absolute opposite of sexy. It's pretty gross.
It's not even meat. It's just pixels.
Yeah. So anyway,
I only see it blurred now.
So Matt and Laura go off to try and find these pigs that they can shoot and have for breakfast or whatever. And they come across this enormous nest. And you have ostriches and emus in Australia. Well, I don't know, but they might have ostriches. They definitely have emus. But this nest is so big that it could house a family of like 10 emus. It's like 8 feet round at the base, 7 or 8 feet tall, made purely from blades of grass. Matt and Laura are like, what the hell is this? They're walking all the way around it, trying to figure out if it's a bird's nest. And Matt's like, well, there's no feathers, there's no dirt, it's completely clean. They both climb inside it. Laura's like sticking her face into the leaves, going, oh my God, it smells so nice. This smells lovely. And they're like dossing about, and then they go back to camp and they haven't caught a pig, but they found this really cool nest that they don't really know what it's for. And like Laura jokes at one point, or maybe it belongs to a pterodactyl. You know, it's the Australian outback, you don't know what's out here.
They smell lovely.
Yeah, and then about 10 or 15 minutes after they get back to camp, the producer turns up with 2 people whose faces you don't see, who are like the professional outback safety people to make sure that, you know, if a dangerous snake is spotted, it's tracked and people are made aware of where it is, and to warn people of these are the things you can touch, these are the things you can't touch. They know the outback really well.
Are they pixelated? Or
no,
is the camera just pointed down?
The camera is shoulder level down.
Right,
so
I was just wondering, I just wanted to know how much production value you got into. Oh shit, we've got to protect these at all costs.
Yeah. So they haven't...
Okay, well, we need to make a point of not pointing. Right,
yeah.
That's what's happening.
You can't see their faces, but you can hear their voices. And they come to the group really weirdly, like in like an emergency situation. And these Australian guys are like, you can't go back there and you can't say anything to anybody about this. We need to keep this like in this group. It cannot go any further.
It's on telly, you know.
On an international TV program. And he's like, don't go anywhere near it. Don't touch it. And they're like, oh, is it a bird nest? And the guy's like, no, it's not. And we found one similar up north a few months ago. There's been scientists there investigating it, blah, 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 this, that and the other. And the best thing they can describe it as is a primate nest. Now, to the best of my very poor knowledge of the animal kingdom, I don't think Australia has any native primates. Like, They've got marsupials.
Yeah, like kangaroo's probably the biggest.
And koala is like the closest thing, maybe.
Drop bears.
Yeah, but they don't have any apes, no chimpanzees, no monkeys. As far as I know, if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me, anyone who's listening. I really don't mind that, because this is just me talking nonsense. And Matt's like, a primate nest? And the Australian guy's like, yeah, don't go anywhere near it. And Matt's like, what, like Bigfoot? And Laura's like, oh my God, have we found a Yeti nest?
Brucefoot.
And the Australian guys are like, really don't want to talk about it, but they've got to sort of say, like, you can't talk about this. They won't say that it is definitely a Bigfoot nest. One of them mentions the word yowie, which is, I don't know how it's spelt.
I think it's phonetic.
Which is, Australia's version of Bigfoot, or...
That wasn't the call, it's just next door making noises. That was weirdly timed.
It was weirdly timed.
Don't know if that'll come out on the...
Like Australia's version of Bigfoot, or a Yeti, or a Sasquatch.
Ausquatch.
Ausquatch. Oh, yeah, cool. So a yowie. And these creatures are not to be trifled with. They can create disastrous situations for you if you disrespect them, their land, their space, or anything.
But they smell so good.
I am now waiting for a series of calamities to happen to Laura and Matt, because they've both been inside this nest and they were like, we sat inside that, and the Australian guy was like, you shouldn't have done that. So honestly, I don't know if this is a manufactured situation or if it is just a random nest that happens to have been there. But it was enormous.
Is that where the cameramen are hanging out and watch the... having a shower and stuff. That's what they hide. That's why it smells so good. That's Baby Island lubricant smell.
Yeah. So
the cameraman's having a shufti in the bushes there.
Gross.
Don't go back there. Oh, you've got to respect the territory. They'll get angry. Don't even look at that again. Stay away.
But I mean, if you've never watched Naked and Afraid, it's one of my guilty pleasure TVs. Lexi introduced me to it years ago, and I used to rip the piss out of her for watching it. I'd be like, naked people in the jungle? What a bunch of fucking idiots. But then when you watch it, you realise that these idiots are eminently watchable and they represent fairly regularly the worst attributes of human beings. And you really find people to root for, and you really find people to dislike. And then you get into the bets of tapping. Who's going to tap first?
How many of the people seem to be more... Yeah, they look like they're outdoorsmen, and this seems to be how they get by, is living off the land, compared to... Yeah, I reckon I can have a go at that.
Well, that's a good question.
I wish I hadn't had to go with that accent.
Yeah, that was a good Australia. That was impressive.
Really? Oh, I thought...
Yeah, no, it came across really well.
Oh, thank fuck! I was immediately regretting that.
Oh no, I thought it sounded great.
Especially by my standards.
There are a number of people who go on Naked and Afraid whose lives are survival. They work in survival. They live in survival.
Until the incident.
They spend their time building fires outdoors and, making traps and shooting turkeys or whatever it is that they shoot to get by and, make their food. And, I don't have any problem with people... I'm not vegetarian, I'm not vegan, and I'm sorry if you disagree with this opinion. It is purely mine. If you are someone who kills your food to eat it, so if you're going out getting grouse, turkey, bear, moose, whatever, if you're shooting that animal to feed your family and that's your shopping for the month,
not trophy hunting,
then
Fuck
that
those,
is fine.
yeah.
But people who go around to kill things purely for the pleasure of killing them, that I wholly disagree with.
No, they've got a reason to be killing what they're killing.
Yeah, they do have a reason
funsies.
to be killing what they're killing. The show is quite brutal and doesn't shy away from the practicalities of having to end creatures' lives in order to sustain your own. You do see things being gutted and whatnot. You don't often see things being killed, but you do see like the processing of the carcass or whatever. But yeah,
peeling.
I'm waiting for next Friday for episode 4 to see if the Sasquatch has come and got Matt and Laura in their sleep. I'm really fascinated. If you're into like mysteries and cryptids and the idea of naked people running around trying to survive in the outback in Australia in the middle of summer is a good idea to you, this is really worth watching. It's on Discovery Plus. Go ahead and watch it. And I have a new addiction.
Oh, yes.
This is the last thing I'm going to talk about before you're allowed to do the outro.
Yes, I've got nothing to really say apart from thanks for listening.
Yeah, cheers everyone, love you. My new addiction has come about because it is tornado season in America, and Central Time is however many hours behind us.
5, 6.
Something like that. I don't know. I've tried to work it out, but when you're watching TV at 4 o'clock in the morning and you haven't slept yet, it's difficult. Max Velocity. Shout out to Max Velocity of YouTube. He is a young guy who is a meteorologist, certified, degreed, and he runs a channel that streams all of the active storm chasers and the weather radar for supercells, looking for tornadoes, giving out warnings to people. And he is so easy to watch. And the thing about watching storm chasers is it's great when it's in rural areas. Like, I have seen some fucking awesome tornadoes in the last couple of weeks because I've not been able to sleep. And the weather around Texas has been just perfect for tornadoes. And there was this huge one that was like big enough to fill your screen. It was dust wrapped. It was bright orange because of all the dust it was throwing up and the light that was coming down through. And it was amazing, and I love it. But I caught myself watching it the other day, and there was a destructive tornado heading towards a small city. And the whole feel of the channel was completely different. Like, it really put across the severity and the fact that not just tornadoes are important things to look out for, but the storms, the general thunderstorms they get out there, the severe thunderstorms can have winds of up to 100 miles an hour. And they actually had a derecho situation, I'm going to say North Dakota, a couple of days ago. And a derecho is a line of storms, I believe, that's over 150 miles long with recorded winds of over 100 miles an hour. Now, if the UK had a storm that was 150 miles long with winds of over 100 miles an hour, half the country would fall over. But it really sort of made me think, oh, is this a good hobby? Because I want to see really cool tornadoes, but I don't want to see people's houses and lives
just happen
destroyed
in the middle of nowhere. Nothing. America's big enough.
Yeah. So agricultural wide open space tornadoes, fucking brilliant. Tornadoes going towards cities, terrifying. And I'm thousands of miles away, sat on my sofa, completely safe, terrified for people that I will never see, never know, never speak to. And I'm like, I am literally watching potential death move at like 20 miles an hour towards a city. And thankfully that particular tornado took a bit of a turn to the south and it missed it, and it stayed in a mostly agricultural rural areas. But some people have died. I think there's been like 4 reported deaths in the last 24 hours due to tornadoes. So my new addiction, I think I need to have a bit of a think about, because whilst it's amazing and tornadoes are fascinating and beautiful and insane,
You're watching for the force of nature, I'm not too keen on the results of what's happening.
I don't want to see people destroyed, but the process... No, don't. I don't want to see people destroyed. Full stop. There's no but there. I should have ended that sentence there. I do not want to see...
It's the storm itself and the weather phenomenon.
Yes, it's the phenomenon that is fascinating, not the results of it. So I need to have a think about my 4 a.m. addiction.
As for us, it was a bit windy outside. You might have heard it go woo past the windowsill a few times.
Yeah, it's been a couple of little gusts. Wasn't me farting, I promise. Yeah, but that's pretty much all the nonsense I've got to talk about this episode.
Before we end, I just wanted to say happy 10th birthday to Cheap Show Podcast.
Oh,
Obviously,
yes!
this show wouldn't be this show without Cheap Show and their inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely.
I promise we're trying our best not to just be a poor copy.
Yeah, we yes, we are acutely aware of,
inspired by, I promise,
of
not a
our
copy.
similarities to Cheap Show. They are genuinely inspirational people to us. We love Paul and Eli and everything they do. We are not copycats. We have agonised over trying to keep ourselves not Cheap Show. But happy
sure how it's
birthday,
working.
gentlemen. You are just fucking geniuses. Genii. Yeah. Happy birthday, you beautiful human beings. Cheapshow.co.uk. They're amazing. Happy birthday, gentlemen.
Happy birthday, Paul and Eli.
And see you in October for your live show at the Cheerful Earful in the Bedford Arms in Balham in London.
Us, on the other hand, we are part of the Studio Channel 84 Indie Podcast Network. Thank you very much to TJ and Rob for inviting us to be part of it. They host the variety show. Rob and TJ host the entitled Sci-Fi Show. And Ross and Simon present Who Takes the Socks Off and Socks On or Off minisode. Find all of us at channel84.co.uk and give our friends a listen. Share them with your friends.
And, even more so in some circumstances, share us the people you fucking hate. Because they'll either love us or hate us. So either way, you'll have won.
In that case, tell them Karen sent you.
Yeah, yes, always from me.
Our bit of the site is lightlyused.co.uk. You'll find a blog post with photos of everything we've talked about, links to things we've talked about, link to Tim Butter's Johnny Turnip book, and also any books that we've found on the Internet Archive that we've mentioned in Bibliotat. They'll have links there too. I think that's everything. Oh, there's links to socials.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of them.
we are still on Twitter /X. We are on Blue Sky. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. _lightlyused on Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter. And then on...
It's not important. Just go on the lightlyused.co.uk. You'll find the links there. It's taking us too long to list everyone.
Yeah, I'm tired now.
We're on the internet. You probably know it already.
Come find us. We love you. Thank you.
Adam and Karen have been lightly used. Visit lightlyused.co.uk for more. To get in touch, email pod@lightlyused.co.uk.
Yeah, I don't know if I need to burp.
Is it a burp? Is it a fart?
Oh, it's definitely in my throat.
Is it a frog? Oh, God, my spine. God, we're a right pair of...
It was a burp.
We're a right pair of useless bastards, aren't we? Right.
This was a Studio Channel 84 network show. To find more, head over to channel84.co.uk now.